Morning, friends. Welcome back to another edition of Johnny W. Bread TV. Thank you for joining me. And today, the discussion will be about the idea of humility, what it really means. And I think specifically, we need to talk about somebody who's teachable. And rather than getting onto a topic or a discussion for today, I just want to talk about these webcasts in general. When I make them, even though I kind of do them impromptu, I've been thinking about my topic for quite a while prior to doing it. And I don't want it to be arrogant in tone, and I want it to be something that people will take seriously and listen to. When a video is presented or a discussion is made with another person, oftentimes, particularly if we think there might be a disagreement coming up, um, I think a good level of humility and teachability is to listen and be on guard for the temptation to form an immediate rebuttal or to lock and load, so to speak. When somebody's coming at you with a point and your initial reaction might be that this is not me, I don't agree with this. I'm going to come up with a way to destroy the guy's argument. And you're thinking about how to do this while the other guy's speaking. And a lot of times you don't even hear what he says. And I come from a church that's confessional in nature. We do a confession of sin each week. And it's a way to get our hearts into a repentant mode. And I want to read it, and then I want to explain to you why I read it. Just bear with me for a moment. O changeless God, under the conviction of your Spirit, we learn that the more that we do, the worse we are. The more we know, the less we know. The more holiness we have, the more sinful we are. The more we love, the more there is to love. O wretched people we are, how little we love your truth and ways. Of all hypocrites, grant that we may not be evangelical hypocrites, who sin more safely because grace abounds, who tell their lusts that Christ's blood cleanses us, who reason that God cannot cast them into hell, for they are saved, who have evangelical preaching churches, who love evangelical preaching churches, Christians, but who live unholy lives. Our minds are buckets without bottoms, with no spiritual understanding, no desire for the Lord's day, ever learning but never reaching the truth, always at a gospel well but never holding water. Our consciences are without conviction or contrition, with nothing to repent of. Our wills are without power of decision or resolution. Our hearts are without affection and full of leaks. Our memories have no retention, so we forget easily the lessons learned. And your truths seep away. Give us broken hearts that yet carry home the water of grace. The point of that is to show you that as people, we're not as big, we're not as smart, we're not as informed. Oh, it goes a number of ways. Basically, we're really zeros in the big scheme of things. Yet, at the same time, God is a God who will grant wisdom to those who ask, will give insight to those who ask. But he also opposes the proud and gives grace to the humble. And this is what I want you to get at when you're in a discussion. Am I proud? Am I willing to learn? Is there a possibility that I might be wrong? And will I be listening to somebody who maybe have a worldview that, for the most part, I entirely disagree with, but on a particular point, maybe they have some wisdom. The Bible talks about how God can speak to an ass or a donkey. Yet, if we don't give them a hearing, we'll never have any pearls of wisdom. That's the point I want to make. I want you to think about that for today. And hopefully, as I broadcast in the future, maybe any comments directed at me will be thoughtful. And believe me, I like thoughtful responses, and I actually welcome the notion, not all the time, but a lot of the times, of changing my mind. I have changed my mind the past couple of years about a variety of things. And when people give me a real, obviously, thoughtful way of looking at a problem, one that's not predictable, but one that's like, wow, that's different. I'm willing to give it a hearing, and I am willing to respect those who have a difference of opinion than myself. And I hope others through my broadcast can realize that there's a lot to learn by having meetings or having open conferences with people of different political philosophies, religious philosophies, a variety of topics. It makes us better. It makes us more loving, more caring, and ultimately more humble and teachable. Thank you. Signing off for today, Johnny W. Bread. Love you guys. Until next time. So long.